Hey guys, welcome to Pebble Outdoors. I'm Dwayne. Today I'm going to go over what kind of gun should you get if you're a first-time gun buyer. Again, this is all my opinions, and I only have 4 different types of handguns, right? Or not 4 different types, but I only have 4 different handguns, so I don't have a big option to show you. But I'm going to go from the cheapest gun I have all the way up to the most expensive one, and we'll kind of go over the features on all of them, and whether you're looking for something for home defense, carry, maybe I can help you. By the way, I'm going to try to make this video straight through, no cuts, so it might be awkward. I don't know. Anyways, so the first gun I have is a gun I actually don't like. It's this Taurus TCP. It's a 380. The reason why I don't like it is, yes, it's a cheap gun. It's a gun. If it's the only one you can afford or it's the only one they have, sure, why not? It's a 380, but the mag only holds 6 rounds. And maybe I'm just a bad shooter, but when I'm trying to shoot it, the trigger pull is just ridiculously long. And I don't know, again, maybe I'm a bad shooter. I just have a hard time hitting literally the broadside of a barn with it. But this gun is nifty. It's a little more difficult to take apart. The only thing I really think it's got going for it is the fact that it's small, right? You can literally just shove this in your back pocket, and pretty much nobody would know it was there. I mean, it might look like, you might be able to see the outline of the gun, but I mean, it's small. So that's really the only thing I like for it. The grip is just nasty. I don't like it. But again, it was the first ever handgun I got, so I'm keeping it. I don't ever want to get rid of it. It might be dumb, but whatever. To take it apart, it's kind of funky. To be honest, I don't even remember how to do it. There's like a little pin. To dismantle it, it sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know. Okay, we got the pin. Maybe. Okay, so it comes apart like that, It's okay to disassemble. It's not the easiest, it's not the hardest. Yeah. To put it back together, it's a little more confusing. You gotta get that pin back in. Again, I don't mean to be a negative Nancy about it. I'm sure Taurus makes some good guns. See, I put it together wrong. It's not supposed to do that. I did not practice this video whatsoever, so this is... Anyways, you can see what I mean. It's very difficult to deal with. Okay, maybe this one? I don't know. Gotta make sure that opening is in the right spot. Maybe. Okay, it works. Okay, that's the first gun, Taurus TCP. Again, you can get other versions of this gun from different brands like the Ruger LCP or something like that. Personally, not a big fan of them, but their pocket pistols are great. The next one up actually is my wife's Bodyguard by Smith & Wesson. It's a Bodyguard 2.0. It's also 380. But from these two different guns, right? This one, they're roughly the same size, right? The Smith & Wesson's slightly longer and slightly taller, but they're roughly the same size. I can get my full hand on there very comfortably. This thing fits really nice. This is more expensive than that. I think it's like in the $500 range. I could be wrong. But this thing is a step up drastically, like humongous step up. My wife loves this thing. Of course, it's cow print. She had to get something fancy. I don't know. You can order these if you wanted a cow print gun. You can go to the gun shop and order them. That's what we did. They're probably not going to have this in stock though. But you can get the Bodyguard 2.0 all black. Decent price. It's probably going to be the same price as a Glock 19 like I have here, roughly. You get a little bit more features with it than a Glock. You got an actual safety on it. Glock does not have an actual safety. It's very small. It was a very stiff gun when I first got it. And it's still a little stiff. I oiled it. But that thing fits so nice in my hands. It's got some really cool sights. I know it's probably impossible to see from over there, but this is one of my favorite guns that I say owned. It's my wife's gun. It's not my gun. But it's one of my favorites. Obviously, I don't have very many handguns, but I've owned a few over the years. and this one is the one that's most comfortable, the smallest but most comfortable one I had. It shoots really nice. I'm not used to it because I always shoot bigger guns, and again, that's not really an excuse. I'm probably just a bad shooter, who knows. But I tend to put a lot of pressure in this way because why not? I'm thinking it's a bigger grip, if that makes sense. But this is an amazing gun, especially for my wife. It's a 380. 380, some people say, oh, you're not going to like 380. It's not going to put somebody down if you need to use it in self-defense. It's not going to do this. It's not going to do that. Yes, it will. I don't know why people have such a beef against 380, but if you get shot with a BB, it's going to hurt. If you get shot with a pellet gun, it's going to hurt worse. If you get shot with a 380, you're probably going to die. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's a deadly round. I don't know why people put it down. It's a good round. All right. So this is definitely on my yes list. If you want to get a gun, get something like this. If you're a first-time gun buyer, get something like this. It fits well. Obviously, my hands are small. If you have big hands, please go to the gun store. Not just if you have big hands, but if you're looking at guns, you can take my opinion and throw it in the trash. I don't care. Go to the gun shop, go and ask them what guns they recommend, and you hold them. You dry fire them, you test them, whatever you need to do at the gun shop. See what feels good for you. Because if you don't like it, then you shouldn't buy it. Don't just buy something because I say to or because anybody on YouTube says to. Go to the gun shop and see what you like. So there's that. That's a definite yes. The next one up is the gun I always carry. Yes, it's got a light on it. I don't always have the light on. The light is usually on that gun, but I have a holster here for this gun in particular. This is my gun. It's a stock Glock 19. It's very boring, but I love Glock. It's one of my favorite brands. I don't know why. There's nothing special about this gun other than the fact, one thing I like about it is it's a Glock 19. It holds 15 rounds, which, speaking about rounds, hang on, 6 rounds. The smallest mag this thing came with was 10 rounds. It also came with a 12-round mag. So again, small gun, double the ammunition basically. Okay, now back to the Glock. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Glock, you got 15-round mags that come with it. I think mine came with 3. This is a Gen 5 Glock 19. It's non-MOS. The MOS means it has like a optics cut in the slide, so you can put an optic, kind of like how I have on here. This one does not. I wish it did. I'm probably just gonna buy a new slide or have this one milled for it later on down the line. But it's very nice. As you can see, like I said, I got a light on it. That's what I like for the most part, if I can. I don't have any good holsters right now for the light for my Glock because the one I have, the retention is absolute trash. But I have this big holster, so I like this. One thing I was gonna say, sorry, again, rambling. I'm gonna try not to have to stop the video, whatever. 15-round mag. I also have Glock 17. The Glock 17 is just like this one basically, except a little longer and a little taller. The Glock 17 mags fit perfectly, right? It sticks out obviously, but they fit. The difference between the two mags, you know, it's not very much of a difference. But the really nice thing about Glock mags is you have like the 17, the 19, Glock 26. I'm sure there's another couple of the 9mm guns that are double stacked. You can have like a Glock 26, which has a really short handle, and you can still have this mag go in it. So it's very, so if you end up buying one of those down the line, you have mags for the guns, if that makes sense. That's a cool thing. Again, it's stock Glock. I have shot this thing so much, I don't think I've ever had any issues with it at all. I don't think I've ever had any jams. Again, it's my gun. It might be different for you if you go and buy one. I don't want to say it's going to be perfect for you too, but this has been such a good gun. It is a little wide. I have been thinking about getting the Glock 43X, which would be, I could be wrong, but I think it's roughly the same size as this, except it's thinner, and it might be a little shorter. I haven't actually looked at one in a while. I owned a Glock 48, which is the same thing as a 43, but it's longer. So I'm thinking the Glock 48 is the same gun as this, except thinner, and the Glock 43X is slightly smaller than this, like in height and width. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I've been thinking about getting one of those for concealed carry, so you're not printing as much, because I have not this holster, but I have an open carry holster that I conceal carry with. I put the shirt over the gun. It's kind of visible. I don't really care if people see me have a gun. Who cares? It's a free country. But again, that's just my preference. People, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, open carry sucks. I don't care if somebody open carries. Go ahead. I tend to try to conceal carry for the most part. Do open carry every great once in a while. It's personal preference. There's, what do you call it? There's ups and downs to both, I guess. Anyways, you just got to practice with what you do. Again, if you open carry, I always suggest getting a holster with a retention system, such as you can buy holsters with buttons that your gun is locked, and you can just hit the button and the gun comes out, right? So you do that, the gun comes out. Okay. You can buy holsters like that. You can buy holsters like leather holsters with snaps. You know, if you're going to open carry, try to have some kind of retention because you don't want somebody coming up and just grabbing your gun and shooting you with your own gun. But anyways, the Glock 19, if you're a bigger guy, maybe, I'm not a big guy, but if you don't want something small, you know, this is the Smith & Wesson next to it. If you don't want something that small and you want something big, the Glock 19 or any of the Glock family, like the Glock 43X, Glock 26, Glock 17, any of those Glocks, they're going to be good. I owned a Glock 22, which is a 40 cal. I don't really care for it because it's 40. I'd rather have the extra ammo because the 40s are bigger than the 9s. So you'd have like less rounds in a big gun. I don't know. But those are good too if that's something you want to carry, something with a bigger round. Anyways, so next gun I want, if you want to spend money, let's say you want a fancy nightstand gun or whatever, for when things get scary in the night, you can get something like this. It's a 2011, or not a 2011, it's a double stack 1911 basically. It's hammer fired. It's got an actual safety on it, so when I pull the trigger it doesn't fire. It's a very smooth gun. This is, again, one of my favorite guns, but that's because it's so expensive. This is like double the price of this. However, holsters are extremely hard to find for this. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Who knows? I might be just a terrible YouTuber. I don't know. But this is a great gun if you want something fancy. But again, if you're a new gun buyer, I would not recommend something like this because you have to do a little bit more maintenance, cleaning everything on this to make sure you don't, you know, have jams and stuff. This is a lot more of a delicate gun, I think. I haven't had any issues with jamming or anything like that. But again, that's just me. I may have gotten the perfect gun. I don't know. That might just be me. But yeah, it's got a nice safety. It's got, what I like about this, if you go with something like a 1911, for example, that single stack, it's going to have way less rounds. However, what I do like about it, and you can also get this on some of the other guns, I think Smith & Wesson makes some bigger guns than this that have this little, it's a grip safety, so you can't fire. I could take the gun off of safety and try to pull the trigger and it won't fire. I can only fire it if this grip safety is depressed. So that's really cool. It's a nice little extra safety feature, especially if you got kids. However, one thing I always am concerned about these guns is a lot of these guns, if you drop them just right, it can drop the firing pin or whatever and make the gun go off unnecessarily. So you have to be careful with that. Obviously, this gun is a lot more fancier than everything else. I have a red dot on it. It's from Olight. It's an Olight O-sight. I don't know how much I like just red dots in general. I am not good at practicing with it because I haven't had it for very long. But again, this is just my opinion on guns that you should get. If you want my top pick out of everything to carry, I would say go with a Glock. Again, that's just my pick. You don't have to listen to me. Go to the gun store, try them out, see what you like. But my top pick is a Glock because I'm boring, and these are just bland. I know they're bland and they're boring looking, but they work so good, and I don't ever see many issues with them. Again, this is a Gen 5. I don't know how the Gen 6 are or whatever the new ones that they have. I don't know how good those are or bad they are. I know the Gen 6s have new stippling or whatever, new grip texture. They look pretty cool. I might get one next time. I don't know. We shall see. But out of everything here, I think the easiest to find holsters for, which is also important, is the Glock 19. Out of everything that I have here, maybe the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard as well. This one is difficult. This one is difficult because, first of all, this one is one that probably doesn't get sold very much. This is one that it's $1,000 just to get the gun itself. And then holsters, I bought a holster for like $133 just for this, and it's a good holster. It's just not that great. You don't have many options. But again, these two guns here are definitely the easiest to find, right? I have holsters for this that are inside the waistband. I have holsters for outside the waistband. I have duty holsters. I have holsters with snaps on them. I have holsters with, it's the auto locking system by Safariland. Just everything, right? I could find so many of these. I haven't really shopped for holsters for this one because I don't carry it. It's my wife's. But again, I've seen more holsters for this and this than for these two. Again, like I said, I highly recommend going to the gun shop, going over, getting their opinion, because gun shop owners are probably a lot more knowledgeable than I am on guns. I'd recommend getting their opinion and saying, hey, I'm a new gun buyer, or I'm looking to buy a new gun. What do you guys recommend? This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something to carry concealed. I'm looking for something in my truck. I'm looking for something that in my nightstand, or something for all of the above, you know. You can find something. There's so many guns out there. You will find something that'll fit you just perfect. Just because I say I like Glock doesn't mean you will, or nah, I can't talk. Just because I say I like Glock doesn't mean you will. Words, they're difficult. Anyways, thank you for watching Pebble Outdoors. I'm making a simple video, no shooting today. I'm sorry, I'm boring. Tomorrow's my anniversary, so I want to make sure I put this video out tonight. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you don't mind subscribing, that would be pretty chill. If you don't want to subscribe, that's also fine too. I might go home and cry a little bit, but whatever. Anyways, now I got 4 guns. Anyways, have a good night.